Has he said nasty things about children?
He called Drake a pedophile.
I'm not saying these two are the first people to ever bring children.
So I'm not sure how we got here so fast, but let's go ahead and go there real quick, man. So if you guys don't know, that the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B beef has come to a head and gotten super duper crazy. So it's a lot of different angles that you could look at it from, but what I see more than anything is a huge breakdown and how much women are different. Like I was saying in the previous episode, Lil Kim at her time was considered to be raunchy, sexy. She had a real, how do I say, a very exotic, or I'm sorry, erotic type of image, and she was considered to be a little bit of a kind of an outlier. Like Kim was big, right? But these girls make Lil Kim look like MC Light. These girls make Lil Kim sound like goddamn Queen Latifah singing "UNITY" with all the goddamn Africa hats. Back before we learned that the Nigerians don't rock with us like that. You understand? And there's a few aspects to it. For one, I heard my man Av say this a while back about why female rap, battle rap, and why female rap in general is where it's at, and it's because a lot of these women, some of these women are just by themselves. They don't have a male counterpart, meaning that there's no one mentoring them. There's no one helping to mold their style. There's no one there's no one to help kind of mold their style. They're not really being influenced by men, because they about men when it comes to music is that for the most part, if he's really an artist, he's looking to go to the next level, and he's going to have that competitive nature. And what he does is he passes on that talent and that competitive nature and that energy onto the female counterpart. Just Lil Kim being next to Biggie, all right, gave her a whole career. Now, and also her whole persona, shout out to Jaguar Wright, she made this point about how Lil Kim's whole persona is a figment or a product of Biggie's imagination. He created the character of Lil Kim. Lil Kim was a regular girl from around the way. He created the character of Lil Kim, and Lil Kim carried it out. You understand? But these days, we went from now Nicki Minaj. I never forget this article. It was on Complex, right? And it was an article where it was more so kind of a we're getting to know Nicki Minaj type of thing. What are some of the misconceptions? I remember even when reading it, she came across extremely arrogant. She came across extremely arrogant, but and not and it was I couldn't put my finger on it at the time. What was wrong, right? But I know one part of the interview was about her position of basically, oh well, when a girl does it, she's a bitch. If a guy doing it, it's he's a boss. And what she was speaking to was the double standards for presentation. And the thing is this: men are men, women are women. Women have this thing where they see men as they see men as the only ones who have any kind of power, so they want to be powerful or have power. They try to imitate men. They think, all right, well, in order for me to be powerful and to get my way and get what I want, I have to behave like a man. What you want, and in turn, you want them doing an impression of a man. But that's not really where your power lies, and whether you realize it or not, you're in a position where you can get that shit off because you're in a free world as an entertainer. All right, and no other time and no other place could a girl like Nicki Minaj should be talking crazy, and because also in interviews, right, especially when you're getting to know people and people getting to know you as an artist, you for the most part want to come off as charming, come off as likable, whereas Nicki Minaj was not trying to come off as likable. And the thing was, at the time, Nicki was in her physical prime, so Nicki was extremely attractive at this time. She also was on fire with the Young Money movement and everything. Not only that, Nicki never really. All right, let's keep it a stack with you. Before this era, there wasn't really more than a few girls you can rub together that where you actually knew what their name was, that were like actual like legit female solo acts. So Nicki never really had. I mean, there were artists who came and went, but she's never really had a lot of competition. Also, Remy was locked up for a long part of her, I guess you could say, her reign. And I'm not one who's going to argue, oh well, if Remy would have been outside. No, I think it'd been more competition, but Remy was going to stop what Nicki was doing. And even with Remy, right? Remy was another part of like that whole wave of like New York artists being put on who weren't necessarily mainstay type of artists. Because again, she comes from that era before hits are as accessible as they are now. That's one of the things that listen. I feel like after T more importantly Drake. I feel like after Drake, it seemed to be easier for artists to put together songs because Drake changed the standard. I never thought about that shit until I heard Young Bird talk about that when he was talking about how Drake State changed the standard of hip hop in terms of how a verse is supposed to sound, how a great song is supposed to sound, how it's supposed to feel, right? Because even when you heard the first project So Far Gone, it felt more than anything like he know what he doing. Like this is perfect. This is like very good. He put this together in a really dope way. I wish I stopped changing my credit score. Like my credit score keep getting attacked. Anyway, so in this conversation, right, we're kind of coming back up on the year after the whole Not Like Us thing, and this whole big divide and this big, I can say, this ongoing debate that went from being about bars to being about, because for the most part, the narrative before Kendrick even uttered the word from people after people heard push-ups was Kendrick's getting ready to go crazy. He's gonna spit the best raps, and then he drops fucking Euphoria. Euphoria is not a good diss track. All right, it's not really a diss track. You lost that round. 616, that's not really a diss track. You lost that round. Meet the Grams, it's not. You lied through half of it. Half of it is based off of some shit that you made up. You did not only that, you were fed the information. You fell for it. They made a diss song about it like a fucking idiot, and it's okay. But anywho, but like I was saying before, I brought this point before. Black people in particular, and leftist thinking people have a behavior where they feel like if I don't like you or if I do like you, I will let you get away with certain shit, or I'm not going to scrutinize you, or if I don't like you, I will attack you. I will hit you with ad hominems. I will dish you. I will excommunicate myself from you. I will shun you. Okay, leftist people, they love to do like shunning and trying to do these like basically punishments. These are things that like people do in cults. Matter of fact, it's what they do in the Jehovah's Witnesses, where they excommunicate you, where like you're not allowed to like come around, or you're what they call disfellowship, where you're not considered to be a part of the I guess the Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know the exact name of the group. I don't want to say it wrong, but that's what that's what happens. But anywho, I wanted to go over this clip real quick with 1 second.
You ain't going. Am I saying?
This is one in particular. I thought I saved it, but it's basically, how can I say? This is one of the last Twitter exchanges between Cardi and Nicki. Where is it? Well, okay. Need to take it down. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I was just on this.
You know what? A girl gonna have beef with me forever. You know what? A girl have beef with me. She gonna have beef with me forever.
Yo, that's old school Cardi B. You see how different Cardi looking at shit, yo. Anywho, so Nicki Minaj and Cardi got into a really nasty Twitter exchange. Fuck, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just get into the subject while I'm looking for the John. So they got into it, and somehow I'm not sure how, but somehow the kids got drugged. So matter of fact, it's right here. It's right here. I found it. Don't worry, I found it. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm being a bad little blogger. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, are we good? Okay, we good. So it starts with Cardi B saying, "Dear Papa Perk," goddamn, I'm not sure. I guess that's her son. Anyway, I'm sorry that your mommy haven't cut you a birthday cake for the past 3 days because she can't take my success or happiness. One day you're going to grow up, and I hope you understand when a girl says no, it means no. Goddamn. And you can overcome the pedophilia blood you inherited from your grandfather, father and uncle. Please don't hate me when you grow up because your mother rather give me more attention than she gives you. Hopefully, when someone that really cares about you puts her in rehab and gets her the help she needs, she can come out and read you a book. God damn, I ain't gonna hold you. That was really nasty, but that's also a good point. Cause I mean, so first and foremost, women are not friends. Okay, that's why girl power is so disingenuous. You know, because women are always. Cause you gotta realize, yo, so much ruckus and issues comes from the sabotage that goes on. First of all, women in general, and a part of feminine energy, if it's unchecked, is that saboteur will go on, sabotage will go on. You know what I mean? Like I was telling my homegirl earlier, I said, yo, I think with my ex, I'm pretty sure that it was her friend's idea to come over and get her stuff. I'm like, you know what, yo, more than I bet that she said, hey, oh, listen, no problem, I'll go over there and get it for you. Nah, don't fix your fears, don't fix things, right? Because for the most part, like, I'm so glad that I learned so much about women prior to getting into that relationship, because I would have been so confused about what happened. And Crimson Cure will touch on this too. She'll talk about how women do not be wanting their daughters to have a better relationship than them. And that goes for women and their friends too. Women do not walk around hoping and waiting. Because listen, that's the same. If you're a guy, right? That's the same as wanting a guy to have. Basically, that's the same as having so much love for your friend that you want him to smash your wife, right? Or that's like your friend. You got to think about how tough it would be to congratulate your friend on having a fucking Mercedes AMG, and you driving a car that you're afraid to drive out the county. You know what I mean? You be telling people shit like, "Oh no, I can't go that far with this car." Yo, if you ever know someone who got a busted ass car, they'll say shit like, "Oh no, listen, I don't go that far out the area with this car." Yo, I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine having a car where I need to be fearful. Listen, man, listen. You live and you learn, then you get lux. But Cardi obviously knows that this day, or I'm sorry, this week is that boy's birthday, right? And also, Cardi alleges that Nicki is really on a lot of pills. All right, and the thing is, as an artist myself, and not only an artist, but an artist that spent a lot of time around other rappers, I can confirm that for the most part, first and foremost, if you think that a job that's not actually a job will somehow become your job because you want to, you are fucking nuts. If you think a job that mostly will never pay you money is a job you should keep on doing, you are nuts. It takes a lot of craziness, a lot of insanity in your body in order for you to think, yo, rap is it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, what?
Relax me.
Shit, man.
He's been stealthing women.
Stealthing these women.
Like taking the condom off while he's hitting it.
Also, too, if you don't know, Nicki Minaj's brother was sentenced to jail for PDF filing for SAing a child. I believe it's a child that he was caring for as well. And Cardi B alluded to something that I had no idea about, which was that Nicki allegedly was SA'd as a child. I don't know how true that is, but Cardi keeps alleging that, all right, this is what's been going on. This is a part of why you so messed up and this and that. And it's almost like you're saying, like, this is why you fucked up in the game. You know what I mean? I'm fucked up in the game because listen, it is my theory that Nicki Minaj, that Cardi B is definitely a Bronx demon. She's a demon that's born from like the essence of the Bronx. Like, she wasn't like born from like a womb. She spawned. Okay. So you got beef with me forever. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Goddamn, nigga, God did it.
Yeah, God did it. Yeah, God did it. But anyway, women will always sabotage each other and always be going at one another. And one other thing that Cardi B said also was that your mother can't handle my success. And to a certain degree, it do look that way. Because Cardi's argument was always about, yo, they're padding your numbers. They're putting money. Basically, your numbers are not real. You're not actually doing it. They're not actually doing any of this stuff, or the interest for you is not actually there. And I always thought that was interesting because when Cardi started getting hot, I never saw it as a replacement for Nicki or she was meant to overpower or replace Nicki. But don't get me wrong, they was putting Cardi on a lot of records and whatnot. And listen, I still like Cardi B. I mean, I don't think she really a great person. I think even this blog right here, I'm like, yo, it say a lot about someone if you're someone who cheers on and is a fan of the personal lives and the personal decisions of a Meg Thee Stallion, a Cardi B, or Nicki Minaj. Like I keep saying, if not for rap, Cardi B will be in jail. I think Cardi B will be locked up. Because, I mean, like, yo, before this shit, you were in the underworld. Whether you realize it or not, strippers are in the underworld. Sex workers are in the underworld. Because strippers and sex workers of all kinds will deal with all kinds of men. Also, those women are the most desperate women. So also, those women are the most likely to get caught up in some kind of scheme, some kind of caper. You understand? Shoot.
Man, fuck.
You know what I mean? Some kind of caper. You feel me?
If you can talk about my career, then I can talk about
your life.
Yes, and it should be.
So Nicki Minaj says their culture. Now this is after Nicki Minaj called Culture, which is Cardi B's daughter, called her a roach. A roach. Hold on, make sure my mic is good. All right, cool. Called the little girl a roach. She didn't deserve that. Let's read this real quick. Walk with me. Dear Culture, truth is, I did this all for a bigger purpose, and one day you'll understand. Oh, goddamn, nigga. She put in spaces. She forgot the indent, but it's cool. She says, you're a cute child, and lots of kids have cute little funny-looking gums before they grow into all of their features. One day you'll see this, so I have to say, I apologize as a child of God and queen of my community who looked at me for integrity. Nicki Minaj, I say this on behalf of all light-skinned niggas. No one's looking for integrity in you. But anyway, you're an innocent child and don't deserve any of this. One day your mother, aunt, and many more will be brought to their knees for what they've said and tried to do to my young prophet / beautiful boy. Take care of my darling. This isn't who I am. Now, to be fair, Cardi did go at Nicki's son first, all right, and she did speak on her son allegedly being nonverbal, which would mean that basically he's on the spectrum and whatnot, and that was like the first attack he went to, you know what I mean? And first and foremost, one thing I will say that leftist people do is they will. How can I say? I'll start here. People who are disabled or have any kind of disability, unless they prove themselves to be a piece of shit or they do something to you and whatnot, I'm not gonna say you got to give them grace, but to go at kids and then also go at a kid for their disability is freaking crazy work. There's a post on here where someone had reposted on Twitter basically criticizing the fact that Cardi B fans were actually cheering on the fact that Cardi B is talking about an autistic child and going at an autistic child for being autistic. You're not safe, my ninja. You're not safe. You know why this is a big deal? Both of them combined have such huge female fan bases. They are arguably two of the biggest female, as far as like fame and numbers and stuff like that. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, more so Nicki Minaj, but Nicki Minaj and Cardi B combined, again, extremely successful artists, especially in terms of like demand. Cause like, yo, I like Cardi on records. You know what I mean? Now I know Cardi ain't necessarily. She's not really a real rapper, I guess. I mean, you know, she's got a lot of writers. I mean, I never even thought about that. I mean, you know, I'm not surprised, but I just never thought about it. But anywho, so she got writers, right? But I think her records sound good. I think her music sounds pretty good. It's just that it's so fucking degenerate. It's so like it's not. You know what it is? It's not balanced at all. And I always think about this example that Angry Man brought up was about the fact that, and it was in regard to who are men capable of love, or is a man capable of loving more than a woman. And he talked about how even in hip hop, as much as those guys rap about drug dealing and killing and having beef and having ops, you know what I mean, and cold nights and whatnot. Like even with Tupac, right? He's singing about Dear Mama. He really saying about how much of a failure his mom was. Because if this was your mom, if it was your dad taking care of you, you'd be like, God damn, like your dad couldn't get a better job. God damn, yo, like your father couldn't feed y'all. Working with the scraps she was given. Mama made miracles every Thanksgiving, which again is a hard bar, right? But it speaks to, that level of struggle is terrible. It's not even like his mom had to pay like car insurance. She ain't had no car note. She ain't paying the bills I'm paying. Shit, man, I pay money for this piece of quiet. You hear that? A lot of y'all niggas out there will never be alone. Because you live with your cousins and your mama and your grandma. You live with your mom and your mom's mom. Nigga. Anywho, not safe out there. Matter of fact, before we get into the rest of the story, I want to bridge the gap because I wanted to play these two videos real quick because I wanted to speak on the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B situation because of this for the most part, what the conversation meant for both of them, or what it said about both of them, and also what it said about the people who support either one of them, right? And how much they have created these enabling echo chambers for themselves, where they never have to improve. And for the most part, I would think that's a part of why people like this, like I think Nicki could have become a better artist. I think she could have covered more ground, and I think that she could have done more different kinds of collabs. And I mean, I like Nicki Minaj, but I don't feel as though I can't say that, okay, if you turn the beat off and everything, and I just listen for a little bit, I can tell what era this is. I mean, to a certain degree I can, but I can't really say these raps or these flows are that much different from the previous project. It's more like, oh, these are different beats, and this is a different hook. Which is not the worst thing, but one thing that I thought was really dope, and it was about Tyler the Creator. How Tyler the Creator creates a character for every project, so it makes it clear that this is what's going on, this is what this is. You understand? But I want to get into the situation with the sister from Kenya and the brother who came from here, the simp ass nigga who came from here all the way to Kenya to go marry this African girl. Hold on.